Good evening, Lynette. All right, what's the random, Shice?
All right, Terry, you was in the conversation, so I seen this and I reposted because it hit me, and I just do some evaluation. It said men are loved and valued for what they can do, and not who they are.
Mm.
So in the essence, it's and a lot of brothers chimed in and they hit the like button. They was feeling that. So a lot of cats is feeling like their value, and we talk about black men specifically are saying their value for what they bring and who or what they can do for somebody, and specifically women or even the family members and friends. But a lot of times we're talking about how women look at us. Are we only seen as what we can do and not actually who we are? Right. And that could be a human thing. Like most people are looked at that way. Like, most people want to know what you can do for them. But the thing is, and I'll try to pass it off after this. I'm trying to stay this camera.
No, we can see you good.
We got you. Yeah.
So, am I in this camera? Yeah.
Yes,
so,
I see you.
All right. So the thing is, when you talk about what a good man is, and I've seen this for years, women will list what they believe what a good man is, and it's like a resume. How many kids he got? He don't have any kids. He got his own crib. He got his own car. This, that, and the third. So, and I get it, but that makes it like, well, what makes me different from Stacy or Terry? If you're picking me, if you're just picking me on what I can do,
right?
And then not basically saying, who am I at my core? That's not who I am at my core. That's the things that I have. At my core is my social beliefs, my spiritual beliefs, my family values, my tolerance, my sense of humor. And to me, my core is my high knowledge of self and knowledge of higher self, my connection with God. So if you're not looking at me and saying, I see you because who you are as a black man in your community and your family and your connection with God.
Somebody spamming the joint.
Yeah.
All right,
I just blocked him.
Okay. All right. So Shice, did you notice if there were any women making comments or any feedback from women on that topic? Because like you said, man,
I try to not debate people's opinions.
Right, of course.
So I seen some women agreed a lot, quite a few agreed. I seen a couple of women tried to just say no, and I thought that was kind of disrespectful to the fact that if I'm telling you who I am, and I'm talking about a male topic, a black man topic, as a man is a brother, and if and you tell me no, that's like me jumping in a woman's conversation. And women say we don't see ourselves as valued in America,
right?
And I go, that's
because
BS.
you're going by your experience,
right? So you can't speak to that. You can only speak to how you interact with men. But if men in general are saying this is an issue, that's a men's topic. You might want to be a fly on the wall and or ask questions.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't jump in a conversation about women and how they see themselves in society and go, no.
so again, Shice, the topic, just to reiterate, it was men. A lot of men, like you said, were co-signing on it. They said that they have the feeling that they are valued for what they can do
and not who they actually are.
Right. And as you said, a lot of men seem to be in agreement with that topic. You said, right?
Yeah. It seems like the most part, a lot of men feel that way.
I got some thoughts on that, and of course, my thoughts going to go to societal norms, right?
Right.
So in my opinion, the black family has been attacked for decades, right?
Hundreds of years.
Yeah, centuries. So the way our society or the way our culture has been programmed, let's say, I hate to keep using the word program, but programmed pretty much to kind of be a little bit disrespectful to the black man because first of all, it's harder for the black man than any other person, in my opinion.
Right, it's your opinion.
In the United States, like the black people don't realize how tough it is to be black. I'm proud to be black because I know that we came through a lot and we still getting through a lot. And there's there's really no stopping, what we can accomplish, right?
Mm.
So that aside, for all these decades and centuries, the government has made laws that makes it hard for a black family to stay together, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
First they flood our neighborhoods with all these drugs, then they create all these laws specifically targeting lower income people, which I know some white people get snagged into that net,
Mm-hmm.
but overall those
For
laws are
decades,
created
right?
to
Mhm.
keep
Hundreds of years.
black people
Hundreds.
down,
Right.
right? Those laws are specifically created to destroy the black family.
Mhm.
Because who's the head of the black family?
Mm.
The black man, right?
Mhm.
You take away the black man out the family, now the black mom has to either work
Mhm.
and nobody's taking care of the kids or nobody's raising the kids, or she has to depend on the government, right?
Mhm.
And then the government tells her, well, you can't have a man in the house if we taking care of
That's
you.
right. That's right. That's right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we hit from all sides. So
Mhm.
it's no wonder. It's no wonder that people look at us. They don't look at us like, oh, that brother is well, it starts with handsome, and then it
Mhm.
goes to, all right, what kind of gear he got on,
Right.
or
Right.
the thought is, what does he have,
Mhm.
or what can he provide for me,
Right.
right?
Right.
It
Mhm.
is no longer, looking for that's where a lot of these women, well, men too, they get into these relationships
Mm.
because they're focusing on the wrong shit.
Right. True.
You know what
True.
I'm saying?
True.
Instead of
True.
focusing on the heart and the soul and the mind of a person, they're focusing on all the background noise.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And
What I'm
the
saying? Like,
downside is that, unfortunately, I think that as soon as you start to see flashes of that, the first thing we want to do is pull back. And I understand the other side of that is that I understand if the woman is at a point where she's ready to build, you want to build with someone that you can build with. I get that,
Indeed.
but I think that to make it, for lack of a better way of saying it, so obvious or putting so much of an emphasis on that, when a dude that maybe is a builder starts to get that feeling, now he wants to pull back. You know what I mean? Because it's saying, well, man, what about me? What about, like you said, Shice, what about the real person that I am? Then you can also question, then what happens if there is hardship? Because if it's all about what I can do and what I bring to the table, and then life happens, then what? I mean,
I'll say this: it's natural, like you said, it's natural. Men and women have roles, and some of these roles are shared as providers, protectors, teachers, and builders. So when you bring in a family together or a relationship together that starts into a family, you want to have those things. So we understand you want to have those things, but those things are not what you just said going to maintain you 10, 20, 30, 40 years. It actually is, okay, he has those things, but who is he? That's why we wind up marrying people and having children with people that we don't even like as a person.
As people.
Correct.
Right.
Because you don't even look and see, yo, where was his family values at? Where was his spiritual values at? Where was his like and real recognizes real.
Right.
Water finds its level. So if you didn't have it, of course you didn't recognize it.
Right.
Like I'm dealing in higher self and knowledge of self. So if a woman don't have that, that's
y'all ain't got nothing in common. Right. That's the
what's
thing.
funny?
Like, so really, okay, let me just say this, and I'm gonna pass it.
Then I got one.
Let me pass it, Stacey. When women say to me, and they've been, you talking about 20, 30 years since I've been in my 20s and 30s, I'm a good woman because, and you tell me about your job, I don't run the street, I stay in the house, I go to college, I go to school, and I take care of my family. I'm like, yo, that makes you a good person. What does that have to do with making you a good person for me? That's just your resume.
That's the difference.
Right. So who are you? Because there's a bunch of women with jobs and with the school and are good mothers or may not have kids.
That's right.
It's the thing about being evenly yoked.
See, but so it's almost like we get the feeling that you're looking at me saying, when we use the analogy of a builder, coming in, what have you built? And the question should be, are you a builder? Like you said, if I'm a builder, someone that you can build with, then like you said, Shice, that can sustain us for the rest of our lives because I'm a builder. Not coming in saying, what have you built already? Or what are you, what are you built? What are you in the process of building? No, the question should be, are you a protector? Are you, can you provide? Are you a producer? Can you build? Can we build together?
And that's
So
the thing too,
in the
Stace,
bottom
like
core, your belief system has to be aligned. Like I said, I always hear women say, and we can get into what men say, what makes a good woman. But when I hear women say, and I'm talking about for years, since my 20s, they start naming things. Like they say, girl, he a good man. He ain't got no kids, or he take care of kids. What either one. He live by himself. He has a car, this, that, and the other. And I always look like, well, that doesn't separate me from any these other five dudes.
Like what that got to do with it, right?
Like when you say a good man, if I'm saying a good woman, for me, a good woman means you got to be about God, family, community. You got to love God. You got to love being black, and you got to love being about your family. And when I say your family, the tribe in the community. That's the person I want to be with. Because if I'm on that agenda and you're not, we ain't got to work.
Right. Nice. Say what you're going to say. Then I'm going to read some of Lynette's comments.
All right. So what I was basically saying is just that when a person is looking for a person for, I want somebody I can build with, or a builder or something like that, right? When you're thinking like that, the person has to come in. You have to come in with as much shit as I got, because if we building, then we got like Shai said. Level water finds its level. So if you in it just for us building, then you got to come into the shit with the same level.
Oh, okay.
You got to come into the shit on my level.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
when you start talking about like things, when we talk about
when
things
you talking
rather
about
than
things,
the person. Right.
But just as a person, see, that's where we get caught up. We get caught up in things.
Correct.
And not and not spiritually just recognizing that we all,
and nobody's telling you don't have things.
No,
That's not.
Don't chase somebody that don't got shit.
Right. That's not my message at all.
Now, Lynette said, "Oh, go ahead, Nike."
No, go ahead.
Lynette says it's unfortunate we as people have really become, have led astray by the agendas in play. Okay. And she also said,
absolutely correct.
You mentioned roles in the new age. Person jumps on the defensive side. Roles. Okay, and that's true. That's true.
Hey, man, we was watching a movie a couple hours, earlier today, right? It was John Gotti something, and it was in the part of the movie. He was like, "Yeah, I got some business." He was talking to his wife. He's like, "I got some business to take care of. I might be late, or I might not be able to get back tonight." So she was like, "Why can't you stay home?" He just turned around and looked at it like, I got business to take care of. I'll be back.
Right.
And I told Venus, I was like, that's a real man right there. And she looked at me like, what you mean?
I gotta go.
I got business to take care of. I got to go.
Right.
Like he not arguing with you. Yeah, he not going back and forth. He the man of the house.
That's right.
And she was like, well, it ain't quite like that these days, but it should be, because if the man is not the head of the household, then who is? You get what I'm saying? Like, he was like, you take care of the kids. I mean, there's nothing wrong with traditional roles. No, and I'm not being like, anytime you start mentioning traditional roles, like that, that's the first thing people want to throw at you is misogynism, or you are a male chauvinist. But that's since the beginning of time, we have had our roles. If we keep going in the same direction, if men used to be here and women used to be here, now men have given up their a lot of their responsibilities, and then women have taken a lot of their responsibility. So in the future, we're not going to even know who's the male and who's the female. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be just people.
It brings order also. I think it brings order because we are naturally, we have different ways of looking at things. We have different ways to solve problems. And that's not to say that, you can't do
our way is better or their way is better. Right. It ain't about that.
No.
Let me pull it together.
One more Shice fight, then we're going to move on. But go ahead, Shice.
or the shared experience. I always like to go about experience, like I'm not talking off the cuff. When I was with my first Rolanja Rashad mother, we were married, and I asked her, I said, why are you with me? Why do you love me? She said to me, because you do everything you said you were going to do. So everything that I could provide and said I was going to do, that's why we were together. And actually, and we fought like cats and dogs.
Right.
I said black, she said white. I said high, she said low. Because, and then through these conversations and I'm like, yo, you don't know nothing about what makes me tick.
Wow.
So I learned that in my 20s.
Wow.
I learned that in my 20s about, it's not about, that's what you come to the table with. When I say the table, the dating table is what can you do?
Right.
That's not what makes you commit to me. What you should commit to me as a man or as a woman, as a woman, dating a woman, who
y'all have to
I
vibe on it.
Who I am.
You have to be in a relationship. Y'all have to vibe on the same frequency. That's the only way.
Okay.
That's the only way.
I think T put the cap on it.
Yeah, that's the only way you can have a genuine
functioning. That's right.
Functioning relationship.
That's right.